Time now for a flyweight feature. Gemma Auld from Scotland, Sammy Luxton. Here's a look at your tail of the tape. Gemma is 34, Sammy 26. The height and reach advantage go to Sammy Luxton.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the women's flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She's a former WBC Pro multi-world champion and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 125.6 pounds and enters the PFL cage with a perfect record of 2-0. She fights out of Manchester, England. This is the Ghetto Cinderella, Sammy Luxton. And her opponent fighting out of the red corner. She is a striking specialist and stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 125.2 pounds, and across her 6 amateur and 1 professional fights career, she is undefeated. She fights out of 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘, Scotland, Gemma Auld. Referee in charge, 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘.
𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘 will oversee the action in our second bout of the evening. Gemma Auld's in the red, Sammy Luxton's in the black. England versus Scotland for this one.
Ready? Ready? Let's go.
No touch of the gloves to start. Instead, these women will measure out the striking distance and then get right to it.
And you can see straight away here, Gemma Auld is trying to use her footwork to keep space. But as soon as this gets into a clinch, you're going to see Sammy Luxton trying to break as well. She wants to keep this in a striking range. 43-5 as a Muay Thai fighter. But Gemma Auld, as we know, is very strong on the ground.
Good combination to the body, finish to the body at least, did Sammy Luxton, throwing multiple punches and finishing with kicks here early.
Yeah, very fluid with her striking, Sammy is. Takedown attempt pushed away. Gemma Auld's going to need to either set that takedown up a little better or try and get Sammy against the fence so she's got nowhere to run away. Beautiful work with the body shots.
You heard Andy Shepard mention that Gemma Auld undefeated as an amateur before making her pro debut in the PFL, where she was victorious by first-round TKO. She's gotten by in a lot of these fights with superior athleticism.
You can see how quick she is with her footwork and her underhooks as well when it comes to defending takedowns. She knows exactly where she wants this fight. That long lead hook to the body as well. Gemma Auld can't be taking too many of those shots to the body. It's going to bring her hands down and leave her head exposed.
Sammy Luxton been through a lot as of late. Personal loss with some family tragedies. And then had a case of sepsis that put her in the hospital, required a pretty long and arduous recovery. Looking really good here in round number 1.
Yeah, this PFL debut for Sammy has been a long time coming. It's been frustrating for her to not be able to get in here sooner.
And you can see with the fluid striking why so many people were excited about when she was able to finally make this happen. Gemma Auld finally gets a hold of Sammy Luxton, runs her into the smart cage barrier right in front of our broadcast position.
Gemma Auld's got her hands together now. That makes it a stronger position, stronger body lock. She's going to look to trip the legs or maybe even try and take the back of Sammy You can see Gemma doing a good job here, controlling the body of Sammy Luxton, trying to tangle the legs up. Good balance by Sammy so far.
Grab the cage.
Halfway through round number 1. Gemma Auld on the back of Sammy Luxton, trying to get her to the mat.
Oh, I like those elbows from behind. They're very clever. Sammy doing a good job here of unlacing her legs every time they get tangled up. She knows what Gemma Auld's trying to do. Got good training partners in the gym as well, Sammy Luxton. Girls that are going to try a lot of these trips and sweeps on her. And of course, most of the time people are trying to take her down because they don't want to deal with her striking. We can see some blood on the back of Sammy though from the nose of Gemma Auld.
Auld was able to get Sammy Jo Luxton to the mat very temporarily. Sammy Jo builds right back up to her feet. And these attempts should slow the pace of this fight down if they ever do get back to striking range. Grueling work here against the cage.
Yeah, I think one other thing I would potentially do if I was Gemma Auld is maybe try and knee the thighs a little bit. Try and take away some of the kicking power of Sammy Jo. And again with the takedown, Sammy Jo scrambles back to her feet. Good work wrestling here from both of these ladies, but I'm impressed with Sammy, I'll be honest. I thought Gemma was going to be able to get her on the floor and control her a little easier than this.
And Sammy Jo finding ways to even strike with an opponent on her back. Now Auld able to gather both legs. Good recovery again from Luxton.
And you've got to think as well from a judging perspective, you know, of course Gemma Auld is controlling here, but she keeps working for takedowns that are failing, and she's also getting hit in the process. So you can't even score these exchanges necessarily for Gemma Auld because she's taking more shots than she's giving. Tries for another takedown. Great work. Sammy's going to build up again, though. So stubborn with her takedown offense. It's impressive.
A battle of wills here as Gemma Auld keeps trying to get Sammy Jo Luxton to the mat. Hammer fist to the side for Luxton. Round one coming to a close here in Belfast at SSE Arena. Back to the stools they'll go. Strong round one from her and her PFL debut. Gemma Auld opposite in the red. Dogged in the pursuit of takedowns in round number one. We'll see if the strategy remains the same in this second frame. Sean O'Connell and Dan Hardy cage side at SSE Arena for PFL Europe action. Paul Hughes, Bruno Miranda in the main event. Alan Philpott against Lewis McGrillen in the co-main, all coming later tonight. Good right hand and then a right stabbing kick from Sammy Jo Luxton.
Nice. The pacing of her striking is beautiful as well. Sometimes she'll give just a little gap between, like she did there. She go cross hook, pause, kick to follow.
Again attacking to the body and then a flurry up top. Blood on the face of Gemma Auld. Sammy Jo happy to throw volume. I mean, beautiful. Two to the body, finishes with a hook to the head. Even when Gemma Auld catches a kick, Luxton continues to pour on the offense.
There's a clear violent instinct as well with Sammy Jo Luxton, the way that she puts her combinations together. You can really see that she spent a lot of time drilling those Muay Thai combinations. Nice level change by Gemma Auld though. 90 seconds into the round, she's going to try and ground this fighter. Hard work in the first round. Let's see if she has more success in the second.
Good balance from Sammy Jo Luxton. And I mean, that takedown attempt was absolutely by necessity for Gemma Auld here in the early goings of round two. She was getting pieced up on the feet.
A lot of blood across the back of Sammy Jo again from the nose of Gemma Auld, but she lifts and slams. And now she's got weight on Sammy's back, might make it more difficult for her to build up here.
One hook in for Gemma Auld. Sammy Jo ignoring it so far to try to get back to her feet.
Second hook's gone in now as well, Sean. Now she's going to try and flatten Sammy Jo out. Let's see what Sammy's sub-defense looks like here. Now she's mounted.
Gemma Auld, hammer fist from the top. Working with the right hand. And a choke attempt. Sammy Jo tucks her chin to try to get this choke off her neck.
Oh, that looks tight.
Big squeeze from Gemma Auld. Flattening out her opponent. And gets the tap.
Wow. That was such a hard-fought victory for Gemma Auld. Really impressive that she managed to work through the striking.
2-0 as a pro now from Scotland. Handing Sammy Jo Luxton her first defeat.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee 𝗟𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘 calls a halt to the action at 2 minutes and 43 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner via submission to a rear naked choke, Gemma Auld.
Remaining perfect as a professional, her second victory, 6 wins as an amateur as well. Gemma Auld is with Dan Hardy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Gemma Auld. That was a hard-fought victory, my friend. A little bit more challenging than the first fight you had with the PFL. Talk to me about that. You got a fat lip and a bloody face, but you got the win in the end and you're looking really, really pleased with it.
Yeah. I mean, last time was tough in a different way. I was in about 3 arm bars, but I never make it easy. I just go in and kind of wing it. That worked for me, so not going to stop now. But the fat lip's going to look great on Monday when I'm back in my class, so we'll see how that goes down. But no, I'm absolutely buzzing. The first round was obviously tough, but as soon as I got in wrestled, I knew I had that down. So I knew she was going to come out and be a great striker. So obviously got a really great background there. So yeah, great win for me.
So obviously, you know, as you said, we knew her striking was going to be really good, but were you impressed with her takedown defense in that first round? I mean, you stayed on it, but she kept scrambling. That must have been frustrating for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was getting back up really well, but again, I knew she was going to prepare for that, and it was nothing that I was surprised about, really. Just more surprised in the fact that I didn't do any of the stuff I was planning on doing to defend against her striking. So, I mean, next time.
I think we've got the replay on the big screens, if the truck's hearing me right. Talk me through this finish. I mean, you got to mount. You must have felt like you were pretty close to finishing there.
I felt like you have to fucking finish this because I cannot get hit like that again. So, I mean, we got his job done. Aye.
What a fantastic win. Talk to me about fighting over here in Belfast. The crowd have been incredible.
You know what, it's been amazing. It's really much like Glasgow, I would say. We've been here since Wednesday. It's my first time getting an actual fight week because I'm usually working. But I got a bit of time off and stuff, so it's been great to be here, and it feels quite like home, I would say, like very much like Scotland. So, yeah, it's been great.
Another incredible performance. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Gemma Auld!
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.